Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Okay, is that your argument?
I didn't make an argument. I'm
You
presenting
said
to you a dichotomy.
in a world where...
You know what? I'm not going to waste my time any further. If you are truly
I feel like you're
adult,
just wasting
all right.
time.
Thank you for
all right. Okay.
Canadian Calvin. Thank you for your time.
But
this
we have another.
We
have another one.
Numbskull.
We have another.
Good.
One.
Okay. Good. Then we're done with this numbskull.
All right.
Okay.
Omni, go ahead. Your turn.
Hey, what's up? So, Darth, I have several questions. So, my first one would be: how can you claim that the claim God is good is not a mere tautology if good is?
Yeah, I've heard this a bazillion times. I've answered this question. I've answered this question a gazillion times on streams, on Discord hangouts. Okay, the statement God is good is not a predication of identity. It's a predication of quality. Okay, just like I say, Donald Trump is tall. Right?
Sure. But what does good mean on your definition?
What is good? Good means whatever is complete, not lacking, not deficient.
Okay, so you're making the substantive claim that God's character is not deficient. Okay, that makes sense. Another question.
Hold on a second. What are you reading from?
What? Well, I'm reading from Discord. A friend of mine sent me some questions that he wanted me to ask.
Who sent that to you?
A guy named Ethan.
Who?
A guy named Ethan. I don't think you know him.
Okay. Yeah. If this is the Angstrike question list, we're not going to do this. I have answered probably most of those questions on many occasions. Okay.
So another question. Next question I would ask you is, if God,
you know why I said that? You know why I said that? Because that's the exact wording of the Angstrike questions. Did you know that?
I did not know that. It might be the case it might be the case that that's where my friend got the questions. But I'll ask you questions that were not from the list that my friend sent you if you would rather that. So currently thousands of children die every day from preventable diseases that cause immense agony, suffering, terror, and misery. Why does a perfect God set up a mechanism which brings these diseases into existence?
The distasteful situations and the unpleasantries that we have are part of God's wise plan to bring as many people who will freely choose to repent into the best of all possible worlds.
Okay, so if these are part of God's plan to bring as many people into heaven, then why do the majority of people not believe? Couldn't God set up a mechanism that
the same reason why the majority of people died in the worldwide flood? Because they're unrepentant. Okay,
why doesn't God provide better evidence if he wants people to get into heaven?
Okay, when you say God has provided better evidence, are you suggesting that some things are indicative of God and other things not?
I think there's some evidence for the God hypothesis.
Okay, here's the problem. Either if one thing is indicative of God, then everything is. If there's one thing that is not indicative of God, then nothing is.
So I'm not saying things are indicative of God. I'm saying that there are things that could exist if there were a God.
No,
they could also exist.
You're not following me. Okay.
No, I am.
Something evidence means standing in causal relations or dependence. Okay. Now, if one thing, when we talk about God, we're talking about God as ultimate creator. So, if, for example, if I say that this ballpoint pen that I'm holding in my hand is evidence or indicative of God, okay, then it will follow that everything is. Okay. Now, if I say that this pen is not indicative of God, then nothing else could be either. Because either God is creator, either everything derives and depends upon God in terms of causal relations, or nothing does.
Yeah,
it's a true dichotomy.
Yeah,
do you accept the true dichotomy?
Well, yeah, I do.
Okay, is there one thing, just one thing, in your frame of reference that does not necessitate referencing the necessity of God?
Sure.
Okay, how did you determine that that fact and any other facts exist independently and non-derivationally from God?
Well, because I have independent evidence that God doesn't exist. And so that
Okay.
independent evidence makes
How,
it so
how did
that
you
I think,
determine? How did you determine God doesn't exist?
well, so I considered arguments such as the problem of evil, the problem of inadequate
That
achievement
doesn't
of goals,
that doesn't
the
get
problem
okay.
of divine hiddenness, and
Okay,
the
the
view that there
problem.
isn't a God.
Well, yeah. Hold on.
Okay, I'm holding on.
Evil, the existence of evil. Do you mean natural evil?
Yes.
Okay, that doesn't get you to global atheism.
Well, why would God make it so that there is natural evil?
Having an unanswered question as to why an ultimate creator would permit certain things that you find objectionable or distasteful, it doesn't follow from that what is ultimate is a mind. Okay, your position.
Darth, can I let Artangelo on or no?
I would rather not. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So
go ahead, sir.
your position is you're a global atheist, right? Your position is that what is ultimate, if you affirm that anything is ultimate, is not a mind. Okay. The presence of pain or suffering or death does not logically contradict or mitigate against that what is ultimate is a mind. So the problem of evil doesn't get you to global atheism. Okay, so we can dismiss that unless you want to give me a rebuttal.
Yeah, so the problem of evil shows that Christianity is false. It doesn't show that all.
Okay. We're talking about global atheism now. Okay.
Oh well, I'm kind of. I'm.
Are you defending global atheism, or are you
I'm
just
kind of ambivalent between atheism and deism.
Are you a global atheist or not?
I don't have strong opinions between atheism and deism.
Okay, listen. Are you a global
atheist? I'm an anti-theist. I don't defend global atheism.
Listen to me. I'm going to end the conversation real fast, okay? Because when I talk with people, I expect people to respond to me like adults. Now, I've asked you several times, are you a global atheist? And you're just giving me rhetoric back. Now, I will try one last time. Are you a global atheist?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think.
Okay, which God do you believe in then?
Well, so I don't. I think that I assign credences in things. So
okay,
I assign the highest.
Stop with the rhetoric. Stop. Okay, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm not trying to be rude here. You are boulder dashing me. Now, I asked you, are you a global atheist? You said no. Is that correct?
That is correct. Well, it would depend on what you mean.
So then, listen to me. Do you think by being a motor mouth, you're going to bamboozle me? Listen carefully.
I
asked my questions.
Hey,
listen, smugness. Okay, I'm not easily fooled. Now, you just said you're not a global atheist. So, which creator God do you believe in?
So, I assign the highest probability of global atheism.
No,
so
I'm not. Listen, you're not. Look at last chance, dude. Giving me your pre-scripted answers isn't going to cut it here. I'm asking you very clear and circumspect questions. You are giving me gobbledygook that is not addressing my question. A global atheist is somebody who says there is no creator God, period. There are no gods whatsoever. That's a global atheist. Now, a local atheist is somebody, a local atheist is somebody who is not a global atheist, but disbelieves in one or more God concepts. Okay? Now,
okay, I'm a local
either it is the case that you believe in one creator God, or you do not believe in any creator gods. So which is it? Do you believe in a creator God or none whatsoever?
It depends on what you mean by belief. If by belief you mean that beliefs.
Listen, my patience is running out. Do you believe in one creator God, or you believe that there is no creator gods whatsoever?
I'm asking a clarifying question. Do you believe, or what do you mean by believe?
Okay, we're done. Thank you for your time. We're not
going to play this. We're done by belief.
We're not going to play this little game. A belief is a positive attitude toward a proposition. Okay, now, do you believe in any creator God at all?
Well, wait.
He doesn't. He's an atheist.
Okay, thank you for your time, Omni. We're done. Okay, you can't answer. Listen, I am asking you straightforward, circumspect questions. They're clear. They're not loaded. Okay. They're not double talk. I ask the same question of all atheists that are dealing with, and all you're just giving me back are verbal rhetorical flourishes. I'll give you one more chance. Do you positively believe that there is a creator God? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Now, you've already discussed the issue of evil, and I have already shown you that appealing to suffering or death, that is not a logical contradiction that there is an ultimate creator God. There's no contradiction whatsoever. You then tried to say that it mitigates against the Christian God, which I'll be more than happy to refute, but that's not the topic at hand. What the topic at hand is atheism, global atheism. Okay? You are a global atheist. You deny being a global atheist, but now when I ask you, do you have any belief in any creator God at all? And you said no, which makes you a global atheist. Now, setting aside the issue of evil, which I've debunked, right?
You have not.
Because you said, oh yeah, I did debunk it, because you see, there is no logical problem of evil when it comes to the existence of a creator God. Okay, are you familiar with William Lane Craig?
I am very familiar with.
William Lane Craig has gone on record numerous times and saying it is generally recognized that there is no logical contradiction between the existence of a creator God per se, right, and death or suffering on this planet. Now, if you want to say,
and William Lane Craig has also said the problem of evil is the most compelling atheist argument.
Yeah, so what? That doesn't mean that it has merit. Okay, get rid of Detroiter. Okay? I asked you not to bring in anyone else.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Next time I'll just leave. Now, yeah, it's compelling to atheists. There is no, what is the logical contradiction between the existence of an ultimate creator God and, let's say, a 2-year-old drowning in somebody's backyard pool? What's the logical contradiction?
Well, a God brings about things that are in the ways that are optimal. A 2-year-old drowning is a byproduct
you don't know
of
that.
a world
Where did you get that
in a way
from?
that is not optimal. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
you're not understanding. Okay.
No, I'm understanding.
We're talking about God. Now you're talking about a specific type of creator God.
You're talking about the Christian God. Obviously, this doesn't apply to
listen, Omni,
deism.
listen to me. Listen, I've been more than patient with you, but even my patience is running out because you're not focusing. You're doing classically what atheists do. You're like a Mexican jumping bean. You're jumping from semi-related rabbit trails whenever you can. Now, what we're talking about, God.
Wait, that's
what
a Mexican jumping
God
bean
is that which is eternal and is a mind. Okay, is there a logical contradiction between that there is an eternal mind that instituted this world and a toddler drowning in somebody's backyard pool? Is there a logical contradiction between that?
No, of course not.
Okay, good. Then
God
we're done.
is the mind.
Then we're done with that. Now we're going to move on. You said the problem of divine hiddenness. Okay.
But wait, but there is a contradiction between your God and.
Okay. Again, I guess you're not listening. I said to you, I will be glad later on to discuss your critique or attack upon the God of the Bible vis-a-vis what you consider to be the incompatibility of natural evil. But we're not discussing that right now. What we're talking about, listen, what we're talking about is your case for atheism. Disbelieving in the Christian God does not get you to global atheism. Now, I've already debunked the problem of evil when it comes to atheism proper. Okay, but you want to change the subject to saying that evil is incompatible with the Christian God. We can discuss that shortly, but that's not the topic at hand. Now, so we've set aside, there is no logical problem between suffering and what is eternal being a mind, a creator God. So we've dismissed that. Now, you said that the problem of divine hiddenness, however you conceive that, shows that there is no creator God. So would you like to make that case?
No, so the problem of divine hiddenness wouldn't apply to deism, for example. But I do have some arguments against deism.
Okay, well, you see, deism would have to be rejected by you as an atheist. So I'm going to ask you again. Okay, and please don't repeat what you said earlier because we've already gone through it. God, as an ultimate creator mind, the source of all possibility, does not exist because.
Well, because if you look around the universe, it does not seem to be optimized for anything that could conceivably be.
That does not. Okay, that it does
That
not
is an
follow. That does not follow because
It's
you don't
evidence.
like the particular organization of the universe that what is ultimate is a mind. So
That's
does it
not the
follow?
argument.
Does it? Well then, what's the argument then?
The argument is that if you look around the universe seems to be sporadic and scattered in ways that seem not to be.
Where does it? How does it follow that if there are pockets of less orderliness than other pockets, how does it follow then that what is ultimate is not a mind?
Because by the nature.
Hold on a second. If you don't believe what is ultimate is a mind, do you then believe what is ultimate is not a mind, or do you reject that there's anything singularly ultimate dictating all possibility? Which of those two scenarios do you hold to?
I don't know which of those is the case.
Okay, then you're not in a position to establish that there's no God. Okay, because in order to show that there's not a God, you're going to have to show that what is ultimate is not a mind, or that there's nothing ultimate at all. Therefore, refuting God, which you can do neither. Can you? Can you establish either of those two scenarios?
Well, wait, sorry, repeat the two scenarios.
Can you establish that either what is ultimate, the source that is singularly, not plural, but singularly the source of all possibility, is not a mind? Or can you establish that nothing is ultimate? Can you do either?
I cannot establish either of those, except
then you have no grounds. Then you have no intellectual grounds whatsoever to say that what is ultimate is not a mind.
Let's accept that. Let's talk about the problem of evil. Let's
So are you conceding now? Are you now conceding before we move on that your atheism has not been coherently defended?
Sure. Now let's talk about the problem.
So you don't hold on a second. We will in a second.
Okay.
So I want to make this abundantly clear, not only to you, but to everybody who's listening, the audience. Have you now conceded that you do not have a rational basis to deny the existence of God?
Yes. Now let's talk about the problem.
Okay. So do you actually believe that?
Yes, I do. Now let's talk about the problem.
So you're admitting that your God denialism is irrational.
Yes. Now let's talk about the problem of evil.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Problem of evil. What's your answer?
What's the problem?
The problem is, if there were a perfect God, you would
Hold on a second. Canadian, why are you laughing?
Somebody just called me about something.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So if there were,
my mic not muted, I muted my mic.
Sure. So if there were a perfect God, you would expect the world to be made in a way.
Why would you have any expectations? Where would you get those expectations
because you
from?
say that God is all
loving. Where did you get those? So what? Can an all-loving God, can a maximally God, such as God of the Bible, have a plan to achieve the best of possible worlds? And to achieve that, he has to go through a world with the possibility of rebellion and allowing for suffering as a motivating factor to maximize the number of people who freely choose to enter into his redemption?
No, for 4 reasons. First, the first one is that if you're appealing to suffering as necessary on instrumental grounds, well, if God's omnipotent,
I didn't say it was necessary.
Well, you said it's good, even though it's bad.
No, I said it's a part of his wise plan. It's a part of his wise plan. Right,
and he can achieve his wise plan without it because he's omnipotent.
Okay, so in other words, you're adjudicating the wisdom of God's plan.
Yes.
And
what God has a plan.
And so, excuse me?
I don't think God has a plan.
You don't think God has a plan? Why not?
Well, no, because I don't think God exists. Because the problem of evil demonstrates.
No, the problem of evil does not demonstrate it because you just conceded to me. Are you talking about a creator God, or are you talking about the God of the Bible?
I'm talking about the God of the Bible.
Okay, so what you're saying is God doesn't exist because his plan doesn't meet up to your level of reason. Is that your position?
No, my position is that I've employed processes of reasoning and have concluded that if there were a perfect God, 19,000
Okay, so you just
children would die
contradicted.
every day.
You just contradicted yourself because you just gave me your reason.
Could
God
God
does not
achieve his
exist.
outcome without
Listen to me.
suffering?
Don't overtalk me. Don't be a little motor mouth little punk. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you just denied outright what I just said, and then when you went on, you actually affirmed what I just said. You're saying the God of the Bible doesn't exist because if he was maximally loving and benevolent, he wouldn't choose a plan, because if he did, he would choose your plan. In other words, he would do it your way. Is that correct?
Well, I don't think you would necessarily do it exactly the same way
So
I would.
then you have no grounds. All you're simply saying is, by virtue of your reasoning about the world, because God's plan, okay, by your reason is at odds with his love. How do you know your reasoning is correct?
Well, I think that absent reasoning, we can't come to conclusions about
Good,
anything.
then we're
And
done.
if
Then you just lost
I'm
the
also an
debate on that point.
intuitionist.
Let me ask you this question, okay?
Wait.
When you come up,
I'm still looking for an
hold
answer
on,
to the
hold on. I
problem,
want to
too.
make a point before I forget, okay?
Okay, make it.
When you make a propositional statement or a point of reason, okay? In the Christian worldview, we determine that propositions are true and correct if and only if they conform to the mind of God and how he has revealed it, either in specificity or in principle. When you make a point of reason or a propositional content, how do you know that whatever you reason, what is your ultimate guideline to know that that reasoning is true and correct? What does it have to conform to?
Well, I'm an intuitionist.
I'm asking you, do you have an ultimate authority by which you can cross-check your reasoning that it is true? Okay.
I don't know
See,
what you mean by an ultimate authority.
What you're saying is that the suffering in this temporal world, okay, is incompatible with the love and benevolence of God, and you say that they're in conflict. But that's the product of your reasoning.
You're being a motor mouth, and you're moving away from the point. You're going away from
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
All right, we got a couple more. Okay, we got a couple more.
We're done. Have a nice day, little boy.
All right, so we got this guy called.
Yeah,
Henry.
that was a major fail on your part.
Okay. All right.
Later that same evening.
All right, so Omni, I guess it's you. Go.
All right.
No, we're done with Omni. You had your chance. Okay?
Oh, we won't give him another chance?
Well, you're going to conduct yourself like an adult, Omni?
I will conduct myself like an adult.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll give you another chance.
All right. So where were when we got off? So
you were initially arguing for global atheism, which you admitted that you. Okay. Well. Okay. So the point is, are you going to be changing your tune a couple of days from now or a week from now that your atheism is rational?
Yes. But I want. How
would you know that you're going to change it that it's rational? Because you just admitted to me that your atheism is irrational.
Well, no, I'm an atheism. But
you remember a few minutes ago that you admitted to me that your atheism, your global atheism, was irrational?
Yeah, right. I'm abandoning my global atheism because it's so irrational. So now that you've abandoned your global atheism, which God do you now believe in? I believe in a deistic God.
Okay. Oh, so you all of a sudden you've gone from being a global atheist to now believing in God. What changed your mind?
Well, I just was considering the evidence, and I concluded that there are
what evidence? Because you just said to me a few minutes ago that there's the hiddenness of God. Okay, have you changed your mind about the hiddenness of God?
The hiddenness of God doesn't apply to deism.
No. Okay, well then deism is as bankrupt as atheism. Deism is as bankrupt as atheism because you have no grounds to invoke God.
Oh, well, why? Okay, so the reason I think deism is more plausible than theism, which is your
the issue is not plausible. It's not a matter of plausibility. The problem is if you're going to invoke that there is a God, okay, then that God is going to have to be revelatory, because you can only know that which is ultimate and is a mind is if it takes the initiative to reveal itself. Okay?
My
Now,
God is revelatory.
then you've now contradicted yourself, because that's not deism.
Oh, I didn't think deism required it not being revelatory. Well, my God
Deism,
is just,
see, you don't even know what you're talking about.
oh,
Deism
well,
is the idea that there's a creator God who does not engage in revelation. So now you're a theist. You're not a deist. So which God do you believe in?
well, I believe in a God that. So I believe that a God provides us with revelation, but nothing else. They made the universe give us
what
ability for
revelation? Because
and
you just
nothing
told me
else.
a few minutes ago. What revelation did you come across a couple of minutes ago? Because a few minutes ago you said there is no God because of the hiddenness of God. Didn't you say that?
Well, more about how I needed something to ground the source of all possibility and impossibility.
You see, you have a problem that when I ask you a specific, clear, circumspect question, you give me a response back that's on a semi-related rabbit trail. When I ask questions, it's not to hear my own sexy voice, okay? Now, a few minutes ago, you told me that no God existed because of the problem of the hiddenness of God. Did you say that to me?
I did, yeah. I was off the rails all those minutes ago.
Have you abandoned the hiddenness of God?
I've abandoned that as a reason for global atheism, but I think it's a good.
No. Have you abandoned the hiddenness of God? Yes or no?
What do you mean? Have I abandoned the hiddenness of God?
Okay, listen. We're not playing this little game here. What do you mean? What is up? What is down?
I'm just really confused by the question.
You just asserted two things earlier in the conversation. You asserted the problem of evil and the hiddenness of God was your ammunition to say that there is no God at all. Okay? Now, have you abandoned your concept of the hiddenness of God? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
As an argument for global atheism.
Why did you? Okay, so what has come to your realization that reveals that what is ultimate is a mind?
Well, I realized that I needed something to ground the source of all possibility and impossibility, and I realized that the only possible
that doesn't follow from there that there is an ultimate. So how did you come to the awareness that there is a creator based upon what?
Because of the revelatory potential of the creator.
What revelation?
The deist revelation. I had a
deism. There is no revelation. Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm not trying to be rude. Okay, I think you're a nice kid. Okay, but you have no idea what you're talking about. Okay,
but
you have no business.
Evil, okay?
I know that. Omni. You have no business until you have vast more experience and learning to be in these kind of conversations. Your whole response has been a train wreck. Okay, absolute train wreck. Worse than shallow. Worse than shallow Shannon Q ducklets. Okay.
Wow, that is pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Okay, but I just want to talk to
you. But I do like you. I think you're a nice kid.
I like you too. Right? But can we now talk about the problem of evil?
Okay, but my response to you is what problem of evil?
Well, the problem that on your view it would be very surprising that thousands of children
in the Christian worldview. In the Christian worldview, have you read the Bible?
Yeah.
When you read the Bible, there's no problem of evil. The Bible explains why there's evil.
Oh, well, so the Bible provides several different explanations, and I think they all fail. Which of them would you like to talk about?
No. The suffering is a temporal judgment upon the human race for the rebellion of Adam and Eve, and God uses the good, the bad, and the ugly as a part of his overall plan of redemption to bring as many people as possible into a loving relationship where they freely choose to repent and believe in Jesus Christ. So there's no incompatibility there. Now, you might reason that there's an inconsistency between suffering and God's benevolence, but that incompatibility resides in your reasoning. How do you know that your reasoning is correct?
Well, because my reasoning was provided by the revelatory potential of the source of all possibility and impossibility.
I didn't. What was that word salad?
Well, so which of those words do you not know the meaning of?
You're gonna have to completely decrypt what you just said.
Okay, so
you reason that suffering, okay, pain, suffering, okay, is incompatible with God's love and benevolence. How so?
Well, because
because you wouldn't have a redemption. So if you were, it's incompatible that if you were a benevolent, loving God, you wouldn't have a plan like this. Is that your reasoning?
Correct, and
Okay.
that's for four different.
So good, thank you. So now you just touched the third rail. You've destroyed your own argument. So all you're just simply saying is because that suffering and benevolence are incompatible because you wouldn't have a plan of redemption that incorporated that to bring people to freely know God. Okay, so your argument is nothing at all. All it is that you reason that you could do it better. Okay, you know what we call that?
I can give you my argument.
That's called, no, you're not understanding. Your argument is just that you have a better plan.
No, that's not. And you would know that if you heard the argument.
So your argument is that
don't tell me what my argument is. You haven't heard it yet.
Okay, you haven't already stated it?
No, I haven't explained the four
problems.
Oh,
so this is something. So this is, well, what we're discussing right now is you claim that there's an incompatibility between benevolence, love, God's love in the Bible, and suffering. Okay. Now, for example, are you familiar with Romans 8:28? It says, God works all things together for good for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. Okay. All things, whether we understand them or not, work toward God's glory and fulfilling his redemptive plan of human history. Now, you've decided through your reason is that it's incompatible. How do you know your reasoning is correct? What do you compare it to? You see, in the Christian worldview, we check our reason if it conforms to the mind of God. Is your reasoning true?
I think so, and I can give you my arguments.
Now, in the Christian worldview, in a second,
my arguments, because you're really
in the Christian world. No, because we're sticking on one subject at a time. In the Christian worldview, something is true only if it conforms to the mind of God. Now, you say that your reasoning that God's benevolence and suffering is incompatible. That you say that reasoning is true, right?
Right.
Okay. So, since what is true is not what conforms to the mind of God, you don't accept that.
No,
so
I do
your
accept
reasoning, you say, no, I'm saying that's the Christian view, which you don't accept.
I accept that. I don't think it conforms to the mind of the God that you think exists.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. Listen carefully.
Okay.
You are saying that you are reasoning that God's love and benevolence are incompatible with the existence of temporal suffering in his redemptive plan of human history. You reason that it's incompatible. Okay, so we're in agreement that that's how you are reasoning. Okay, all right, now.
Yeah, I think we've been over this. Can I just give my arguments?
Good. No, I haven't finished my point. Now,
okay.
Is that reasoning true?
I think it's true.
Okay. Now, in the Christian worldview, truth is what conforms to the mind of God. Now, you don't go by that definition, right?
I think that truth is what conforms to the mind of God. I just don't think it conforms to the mind of the Christian God. But I think it conforms to the mind of...
Oh, okay. What God?
Well, I don't know what God.
Okay, so here's the problem then. If your reasoning is true, how do you know that it conforms to the mind of whatever God you believe in?
Well, because it's been revealed to me. It's been revealed
Where?
to me that by reasoning
When?
we can reach into
When?
the mind of God.
When?
Fairly recently.
When?
Do you want me to give you like a time? Like
when did this happen?
like 940 or so?
If you lie, listen to me. If you lie to me, or I determine that you have been lying to me, then we're done. Okay? Because I don't take kindly to liars. When did you have this revelation?
At like 17 or so minutes ago, if I had to guess.
Oh, it really?
Yeah, right.
It just popped into your head. Your
Yes.
God revealed to you. Okay, we're done. Okay, we're done. You're a liar. Okay.
Well, wait, but
All right.
No, we're done.
Nick,
We're
okay.
done.
wait.
Listen to me. How
Can I-
stupid do you think I am? Okay. You see, for the people in the YouTube audience, this is what I have to deal with. These lying little imbeciles. Okay. Does anybody believe that all of a sudden he had a revelation of God? Isn't it amazing that he kept quiet about it?
Where do they grow these people?
Where do they grow these people?
All right, Nick, last chance, go.
Go on to Tom Rabbit's channel. Okay.